There we go. Hey, Bill. James is here. Welcome, welcome. Good afternoon, everybody. Episode 107 of the Nooner. Good to see you guys here. Thank you for tuning in. This is episode 107 of the Nooner, Noontime Nuggets about sales, business, and life. Thank you for the restream and the retweets. All the different re's, appreciate that. I should probably do the same thing myself. I'm your host. My name's David Bradley. This is the Nooner. Every weekday, Monday through Friday, I'm dropping in here, delivering noontime nuggets about sales, business, or life. I'm echoing myself. Did you hear that? So today, what are we talking about? I'll tell you what we're talking about. Accountability. But I'm going to tweet out that I'm in here. Are you accountable? Are you holding yourself accountable? How do you hold yourself accountable? So every weekday, Monday through Friday, for those of you just joining us, I like to pop in here, drop a noontime nugget about sales, business, and or life. Today we're going to be talking about accountability. What is it? What's it all about? But while we're doing that, let me introduce myself to you first and foremost. My name is David Bradley. I'm a sales and marketing manager with Cardone. Been doing that almost 5 years now. Grant's technology took me from barely surviving in sales to thriving in it. So when I get an opportunity, or I got an opportunity to give that back, share that with other people, that opportunity presented itself in 2011, and that's how I've been making my living since. Two other things you want to know about me. Well, let me tell you a little bit about our company. I almost forgot. So Cardone Training Technologies, in a nutshell. Okay, we increase production 15 to 30% simply by helping you and your organization find and then handle missed opportunities. So if you take a look at your current organization right now, hey, where are we at? What's our production like? Add 15 to 30%. That's our end result. That's what we do with you. 75% of what we do towards that, 100% free. Costs you nothing. So if you'd like to have a conversation with me about how to add 15 to 30% to your business, feel free to ring up 310-777-0352. Can't get me there, email me, david@grantcardone.com. Be happy to have a short conversation to see if there's opportunity for us to partner up together and grow your business. Additionally, I'm the author of a book called How to Stop Smoking Without Killing Anyone. Smoked the cigarettes for about 15 years, couldn't quit, tried many times. Couldn't figure it out. Couldn't wrap my head around it. Tried the patch, the gum, hypnosis, all kinds of different things. Nothing really stuck. But then I found a way to stop. Big difference between stopping and quitting. So much so that I wrote a book all about it. Now listen, if you've got a habit that you need to quit, if you've got a monkey on your back, you got an addiction you're struggling with, and you've had a hard time making the transition from the smoking section back to non-smoking section. I mean, look, you decided to start. I'm going to show you how to decide to stop and make it stick. StopDon'tQuit.com. That is the URL you want to check out on that. Third thing on me, I'm the founder of a hashtag called Rich Man's Gym. Now, this is my next work in progress. This will be a book. The target is end of March. Home-based strength and conditioning for body, mind, and spirit. I don't believe you got to go to the gym to get in the best shape of your life. I think you can do that from home. You can do it in the backyard, in your garage, the local park. Anywhere you can bring a set of Olympic rings. Anywhere you can lug a kettlebell. Anywhere you can take a pair of dumbbells or your own body weight for resistance. That's your rich man's gym. Okay, so I've come up with some workouts and some strategies on how to do that effectively, and I'm putting that into book form, and hopefully I can get that out to the general public end of March. If not, though, throw that hashtag into Google or Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, and you can find some pretty cool stuff anyway, in the meantime. Rich Man's Gym. So today we're going to be talking about accountability. So one of the things that I always do is Tuesdays, typically, or my second nooner of the week, depending on my schedule, is literally going to be looking at one of Grant Cardone's Top traits of a great salesperson. There's about 65 of them. 50 of them have been published in a few articles that are bouncing around the internet. So if you want to see all 50, Google it. It's there. Top traits of great salespeople. But every Tuesday, I'm just going to break one down for you, give you something to think with. The Nooner exists because I want to give you some motivation middle of the day. Right? If you're on the East Coast, it's already 3 o'clock. If you're on the West Coast, it's noon. Okay, midday, noontime nugget about sales, business, or life. You need fuel for your body to keep running. Right? You also need fuel for your brain. And what I like about doing these for me is that when I come in here, I can literally, it just takes the blinders off. Because over there, I'm dialed in, I'm making phone calls, I'm talking to people, I'm helping customers, I'm selling product, I'm doing my deal. And what's nice to come over here is it sort of takes the blinders off. It lets me engage in a different format. So everybody wins on this. So today, though, we're going to be looking at one of the great traits of a salesperson, and that's everybody because we're all salespeople. Great salespeople hold themselves accountable. Okay? So what I always like to do as we get into these things is sometimes, we have a word that we use all the time. But do you know what it means? Really? When was the last time you looked up an ordinary word like accountable? What does it mean? Where did it come from? How does it split up? Is it a noun? Is it a verb? The deeper you can understand a piece of language, the better off you can use it. So first thing I'm going to do is just Google it. So I Google accountable, and it's an adjective. It says of a person, organization, or institution, so it can apply to all different things. So you as a person, your organization, so if you work for whatever company you work for, right? Like my buddy Jose Garza, he's with Avocare, that's an organization. So how does the organization stay accountable? How does Jose stay accountable, right? Or an institution. So accountability or being accountable could apply to an institution. So for example, my father, who happens to be on the stream today, nice to see you. Thanks for being here. He is a marriage family therapist. So, and if you're in the Inland Empire and you would be interested in getting some therapy, some help, some head shrinking, some communication skills, why am I screwing up that word? Marriage counseling? Feel free to look him up. Vernon R. Bradley, Google that, you'll find him. Best in the business out there. Not just because he's my dad, but because I've seen him work, and he can handle it. Okay. He's also written a really good book on relationships called From the Frying Pan to the Jacuzzi. You can get that on Amazon. But, his institution, the institution he belongs to, is the Institution of Marriage Family Therapists or Psychology. Okay. That's an institution. So there's accountability that goes with that too. So it's accountability of a person, organization, or institution required or expected to justify actions or decisions. And then the next word is responsible. And then using it in a sentence, it says government must be accountable to its citizens. That's a whole, that's a nooner in itself. Okay. You can then look at that with the government was held accountable for the food shortage. Okay. Now the other one is explicable, understandable. The delayed introduction of characters' names is accountable if we consider that names have a low priority. That's the sentence, okay? So the next thing I want to do, though, is I want to understand where that word came from. So if I Google accountable etymology, it shows answerable. Literally liable to be called into account. So this is from the mid-1400s. Liable to be called into account. So how do you account for your actions? Okay, so let's go back to the title. Great salespeople hold themselves accountable. Okay, a great salesperson doesn't need somebody to do that for them. They do that for themselves. Why? Because they're tied into purpose. Nobody has to tell them what to do. Nobody has to push them. Okay, they push themselves. Doesn't mean it doesn't help. Okay, every great needs pushing, right? But the great salespeople are extremely disciplined. In fact, the greats in any aspect are extremely disciplined. They don't need managing. They lead themselves. Okay? The greats need, when they need leadership, they need encouragement. When they need pushing, they need encouragement. They need someone to say, hey, keep going. You're almost there. Go, 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 go. Just like a spotter at the gym, right? They need to be reminded about how great they can be. Right? What did Muhammad Ali always say? Not only did he say, I'm the greatest, but he also said, I'm going to show you how great I am. Right? I'm going to show you how great I am. Now, this isn't limiting. This should not be limited to just work. You want to hold yourself accountable for greatness in all areas. So as you dig deeper into Grant Cardone, you're going to look at his 10X Super Life series, where he looks to be great in all areas of life. Success in work, success in finance, success in leisure, success in family. Be great in all areas, okay? So you want to hold yourself accountable physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And don't settle. Because if you settle for one, so right, if you push yourself to be great physically, but you're a whack job, so you look good, but you're completely insane and incapable of having a good relationship. So all you're good for is a one-nighter. What value does that bring to a relationship? None. Okay? Or you've got this great mind and you don't take care of your body. Great body, great mind, but you're totally disconnected from spirit, and so you don't see anything that's possible. So you want massive levels of success in all areas, and then therefore you must be accountable to that on all four levels. Right? So the challenge that I would submit to you, a little couple comments down here. Let's see here. James says, I'm going to check it out. Since I'm a DJ, I'm accountable to do well. That's right, man. You're spinning records, and so you're accountable to do well for your audience, right? They will hold you to that by not hiring you again if you suck. But you don't, so you're good. But you hold yourself accountable to put the best show on you possibly can. Okay, and you never give up until the job is done. That's exactly so. For those of you out there listening, playing at home, James doesn't give up until the job is done. Okay. Papa San here says accountability is the bottom line in my work with young and old. No responsibility and accountability, no growth, no change. The person becomes a victim or a perpetrator. Love that. So hear that, guys. Out in Meerkat world, if you're catching this on YouTube, I'm going to read back the comment here. It says, accountability is the bottom line in my work with young and old. But here's the life lesson. Here's the nugget. No accountability, no responsibility and accountability. That means no growth, no change, and the person who's not being held responsible or accountable becomes either a victim or, this is interesting, because I hadn't really thought about it, or a perpetrator. Some good stuff right there. So this week, do not settle. You want to go for greatness in all areas of your life and hold yourself accountable for greatness in your physical life, in your mental life, in your emotional life, and in your spiritual life. Okay? You want to be willing to take a really good, hard look at where you're at right now, and also look at where you want to be and be able to measure that, right? So when somebody calls me up and says, hey, we want to get better at follow-up, well, if we're not measuring their existing follow-up, we really can't help them. And to know that we're actually doing something for them, we need to measure that every single month. Okay, so you want to hold yourself accountable for where you're at. So write it down. Where are you? Know that. Where are you going? Put your attention on that. What is it that's in the way between where you're at now and where you need to be? And once you know that, then you can put together a solid plan to eliminate the block, clear the road, so you can move forward. Now, one of the things that helps me stay accountable, track myself, is I've got this planner that enables me to write down my schedule for the day. I got this little watermark that reminds me that success is my duty. Okay? And then over here, this is my morning ritual. I wake up in the morning, I grab my coffee, I come over here, and I write my goals down. I do it twice a day, at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. And what's nice about this 10X planner that Grant made for us is that it forces you to write your goals down twice a day. I get to put a motivational quote. I get to write down my targets, who my sights are on, who I want to help and do business with, okay? What my successes are. Now I'm tracking things like how many calls I make, how many appointments I set, how many appointments actually show up, how many demonstrations I do, how many contracts I send out, how much revenue I generate. I'm tracking this on a daily basis. So then I can look for opportunity for growth. Make sense? And then at the end of the day, I also write down what worked. What did I do today? Hey, did I have a bang-up demo with somebody? Did I say something? Did I drop a bomb on somebody that like blew them away? So I want to duplicate those successes. Did I get a deal in? What did I do that was right? So I can duplicate that. Or did I blow a deal? Happens. What did I do wrong? How did I blow that deal? And I'm not averse to calling the client either. Hey man, how did I screw this up? And then I got my schedule over here. This literally allows you to plan out your entire day mentally and physically. See that? Okay. So if you want one of these, send an email out to david@grantcardone.com and I'll direct you to a website to get that. You can also go to cardonesolutions.com. There's a link you can get to them there. If you're watching this on YouTube, there's a link right below for Grant's products, so you can go and you can find this on our website. We got a comment down below here. Bonecki says, how can you be accountable with yourself to keep pushing when the results aren't growing as fast as you want? Man, fantastic question. The first question I would ask you, did I answer it in talking about the planner? I think you have to be accountable to yourself on a daily basis in a way that keeps you focused on what your big goal is. So let's just bump up 5 years. Think about something you want to have in the next 5 years. What is your big goal? Okay. Then what do you need to do every single year to move yourself towards that? And then what do you need to do every single month to move yourself towards what you need to do every single year to hit your 5-year? Okay. Then what are we doing every week? What are we doing every day? Have this plan. Understand what the very specific actions are that you need to take that move you towards this 5-year goal. Okay. Now, when you're not getting the results in your daily activities that you're looking for, what you need to do is step back and analyze your entire day. And if that means you need to analyze your hour, do so. So the question that I would ask to you, okay, so the question I throw out there to you, Beniki, is what is that one thing? What is that one problem that you could solve in the next, I don't know, 5, 15, 24 hours? That if you could handle that one thing, would make all the difference in your business. Where is the results not coming from? So think about this like a boxer, okay? So if I'm a boxer, okay, and I'm going to fight a southpaw, well, it would make sense to spar with a southpaw. Southpaw is a left-handed fighter, the guy that leads with his left hand. Okay. Now, they stand like this, whereas a right-handed person stands like this. Bill, you're going to point out to me in just a minute that this is backwards. But look, so you understand the point? If you play baseball, right, and you have a game with a team and you know the pitcher throws a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, would it make sense to practice hitting 90-mile-an-hour fastballs before you meet with them? Okay? So where am I going with that? You need to know what's coming so you can prepare for it. Okay? And then when the fight is over, when the baseball game is over, you need to analyze the game. Hey, well, what worked? What didn't? Okay? It's important to look at what worked because something always worked. Something always went right. And that's important to staying positive. You just be like, ah, man, I blew that thing. Forget it. Worthless. Okay, then you just crap yourself out. Okay? Baseball team, they'll lose a game, but they'll make a kick-ass double play that they can be excited about. They'll lose a game, but they hit a grand slam. Okay? Find something that worked. Find something to be proud of. Okay? Even when you're losing it. Okay? Hey, man, I'm not getting the results I want, but shit, man, I'm putting out 150 calls a day. Right? So the same thing with a boxer. When the fight's over, what do? They go back and they look at the tape. Hey, how did I win that fight? Or how did I lose that fight? Oh, well, look, man, you were real good in the first, second, third, fourth round, but it looks like your arms started getting tired. You kept dropping your hand. He caught you, and that's how you got knocked out in the fifth round. So, hey, is that answering your question? Man, I just say analyze. Start tracking. Stat yourself to death. That's how you hold yourself accountable. Overstat if you have to in the beginning until you can narrow it down to the very specific actions you need to take that create that immediate result that you're looking for. The great salespeople, they hold themselves accountable. They want to be great physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. They work on all four of those levels, all four of those dynamics. Okay, how are you doing it? If I can help with that, but Nikki, you want to have a deeper conversation about that? Feel free to reach out to me, 310-777-0352, or shoot an email out, david@grantcardone.com. This has been episode 107 of the Nooner. Bill, I appreciate your support, man. Every single day you're in here, and I really appreciate that. Same to you, James. Daddy-O, the block. That's what I call it because I'm the chip, he's the block. Thank you for being here. Good to see you. Laura, nice to see you. Benicki, appreciate you the engagement. Nice to have you here. If I can be of service to any of you, reach out to me at any time. That's 107. Tomorrow we're doing 108. Got something special planned, so make sure to be here. It's a surprise. Be great, because nothing else pays. At least not much. See you guys.